No, stay there. Go on. Go on. Shoo. Sorry. Today, I'm at the most incredible place, Swansea Community Farm, which is really one of my favourite places in the whole of the area here in southwest Wales. It's a remarkable place with some incredibly dedicated staff and some amazing volunteers. It's Wales's only community farm, which is incredible, or city farm, as they're known in other parts of the UK. And here, school children, other groups came here, special needs groups come here, week in, week out, to learn about life on the farm, to learn what it's like to run a farm, to care for the animals, to feed the animals, and if I'm honest with you, to have a lot of fun. So, it's a wet old day, but we are here at Swansea Community Farm. This is the life, really. I've got a cup of tea, steaming hot cup of tea, and a piece of honey cake, which we'll talk about later. But we braved the weather for a little while, Paul, didn't we?
Yes.
Thanks for your time. Love working here.
Definitely.
You love it, don't you?
Yeah, I really love it. Really dedicated to the animals and the young volunteers that come through the doors here.
And you work part-time here,
Yeah.
But then when you're not working, you come in as a volunteer.
I come in as a volunteer, yes.
It's incredible. But you have a background in farming, don't you?
Oh yes, my family do come from a pig and cow farming farm up on top of Kilvale. We were years ago.
Fantastic. Today, there are loads of animals to be seen here. There's lots, particularly the birds, there's ducks, there's a lovely turkey called Bernard and his dear partner,
oh, yes.
Bessie.
Yes.
There's lots of chickens here, and we've seen the sheep and the pigs as well. Is that the kind of norm? Is there anything that would be here on other days?
Normally, that would be it.
Yeah.
But as I said, we are hoping in the near future, if as the farm progresses a little bit more, but we've got to realise, we did it a little bit of stumble block in December, but we have put it through the actual trustees here. If we do get on our feet a little bit, we have some young goats here. And obviously build the farm back up a little bit again.
Yeah, I came up here during that troubled time. Lee Trundle and I came up, with a banner to save the farm and do a little bit. But you guys were working tirelessly behind the scenes constantly to save the farm, because this is vital, isn't it? Because we were just chatting there whilst I'm in here today. There are volunteers here who are unemployed, I guess, or who are using this to build up their CVs. You get school children in here all the time. You've got a great relationship with Catalyst School next door, and you had a group of children, autistic children here this week as well.
Yesterday I had an autistic group here, which we cater for. They come every other Monday, and as I said, these young gentlemen are maybe in their 20s, late 20s, and they come here just to see they dedicated. The same ones come here all the time, and they dedicated, not only men, women as well, young women as well, but they're so dedicated to the place. Give them, say, oh, can you change the water? Oh, yes. They're all really interested in what they are doing.
May I say that's the only job you trusted me with? That's all I have to say. Was to get a bucket of water for the sheep.
No, you smooth Bernard.
I did smooth Bernard, didn't I? Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Smooth Bernard.
Maybe it's because I don't have close proximity to farm creatures every day like yourself. But some of the things I've seen today, you'd associate with cat owners and dog owners and domestic pets.
Definitely.
Cutches and cuddles. Yeah. And I the fact that you want to give a cutch to a cockerel or to a turkey, that's fine. But they respond the same way as cats and dogs.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Well, as you've seen yourself, if when you take the photographs of the ducks,
Yeah.
People say about the animals not being brainy. You know what I mean? Our ducks, they know a pathway to go to in the morning to go to the pond, and they take another path then to come back into bed. Now, come on.
They go left, don't they?
Yeah, they
on
go
the left path.
Left path. Then
to go out and then come back on the right-hand side.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the same with the sheep. It's the sheep. When the sheep went out this morning, they knew where to go.
They knew where to go, didn't they?
And straight up into their fields, very happy.
Yeah.
And like all animals, I don't class any animal daft. You know what I mean? And that's me with animals. I love all animals. We got guinea fowl here, which make a lot of noise.
Well, they do.
But then again, years ago, the farmers used to have them as their guard dogs, as well as the geese. Because when they, anybody around, they will screech and let you know what there's people around.
We let the ducks out. I like to think I helped. But then there were 3, big buggers that came straight after them, weren't they?
Yeah. That's so Sid, the gander, and his little flock.
Fantastic.
Well, so,
I started off when we talked by saying you love it here, and I can only say that my belief in that has increased. That you love it here, that you get something great personal satisfaction.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, medical-wise, it brought me on a lot. You know what I mean? Because I did go into a depression side of it. Really bad. But coming up here has really, really given me confidence and built me up.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm glad now that I've got people here that are more or less either in the same situation as me or worse than what I was. Yeah. So I can give them a little bit of my knowledge as well, and hopefully, help them.
And as everybody can see, there's lots going on here. We don't come and say to people, "Oh, can you shh," or silence on the set or anything like that. It's a working farm. It's a working place. But the one thing I have picked up as everybody's walking around here and supporting each other, it's very much a family has developed.
It's a family. It is a family-run farm, actually.
Yeah.
Even to the staff, to the management or whatever staff of what we got upstairs. If it weren't for them, obviously, the hard work which goes behind the scenes, even to the trustees, that obviously again, this place wouldn't be here.
Well, I've got my steaming hot cup of tea.
You've got a nice cup of tea and your honey cake.
I've got some honey cake here. And the honey comes from?
From our bees, our beehives. I think we've got around about 8 beehives down there, maybe more.
And the eggs?
The eggs come from my chickens inside the house there.
The folks from Wilco's, but apart from
that. Yeah.
And you have a lovely little cafeteria, don't you?
Yes, we've got a cracking cafeteria here. And as I said, they do groups. The young children on the Saturday come here, learn how to cook. And as I said, if you were going to interview our chef later on, obviously you can fill you in with that side of it.
You can do that.
Obviously I'm in with the animal side, so he can fill you in on...
No, that's very well.
But he's enjoying that.
It tastes like honey.
I know, and I can see
honey cake, so it's a break.
And I can see you camera crew, but then
well, there we are, tough fight.
It's tough on them, innit? Seeing you having a cup of tea and some honey cake with there, and they just stand in there, they drool in.
Paul, you are a lovely man. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your honesty.
Yeah.
And thanks for the wonderful work you do with the community, particularly the youngsters.
But I would like to say one thing, is that any youngsters out there who would love to come and experience a farming life, please come here. We are willing to take you on, and you get a CB or something like that then after it. But we got a farm squad going here at the moment. But don't be afraid to come. Never mind, come ask for Kate Gibbs, and Kate then will let you know the score of when you can come here. But we also got an adult volunteer day on a Thursday as well. Fantastic. So if you're free, is gardening go on, grounds, kitchens, you can pick a choice from our board, and then you can go into that little group then, and you'd be mostly welcomed here at the farm.
And can I say that I'm running an adult group on a Wednesday at my house, so anybody wants to come and do gardening or DIY work, then you're welcome to come there as well. I'm a bit wimpish now because it really is pouring down outside, so we're still inside. This is Kate. She's the volunteer and training manager here at the community farm, which is a great asset to the city, isn't it? I mean, I can't imagine how many school children have visited here over the years.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. We've got some fantastic projects that engage young volunteers on a Saturday, adult volunteers on a Thursday, and youth volunteers on a Tuesday. So there's something going on all of the time that engages people in the life of a real working farm, and that can be everything from growing produce to cooking produce to feeding animals that will eventually go into the freezer. So, you know, there's a whole range of work here around food that really helps people feel good about themselves.
And you are on the edge of some of the largest areas of social housing in the city and county of Swansea. Some great schools there, some great children there, great families. Yeah. But you are on an area that maybe the children don't get a chance to visit those Gower farms. I remember being in Harvard Junior Comprehensive School. We were taken down to the Gower. We were taken and spent a day on a farm there. Children today don't always get those opportunities.
No, and you know, involvement in farming is just one of those things that's really, really good for you, because actually sometimes you've got to do horrible jobs, but you've got to push through it. Sometimes you've got to, you know, understand the body language of an animal and communicate with it. Or, you know, there's all sorts of things that need to happen here that build lots and lots of life skills, especially around kind of resilience and communication. And a lot of children would miss out on that if we weren't here, so it's incredible. But there are lots of people in this area who just lack opportunities to do something or to give something back to their community, and that's what this place provides, and we find it has massive, massive impact. Not only does it help us because we can make this place free to the public to visit, but it also helps them grow as people, overcome depression, overcome periods of illness, or just feel less isolated in their communities.
During those tough times where you weren't really sure where the next pound was going to come from, I came here with Lee Trundle.
Sorry, I'm a bluebird.
Oh, get away! They named two of the pigs Kevin Truns, which I think was only a day thing. But
they're probably in the freezer now,
yes,
Kev.
don't. Can't, no. My wife's, that was her first visit here, but everybody was like totally stunned that you were even in that position. Yeah. No one could possibly understand why, when all that you do in the community, all the service you bring on a health, on an education level, on a social services level, why anybody would not want to fund this place and keep it going and make it even bigger.
Yeah. I think that's what people don't understand about us, is we're not part of a council, we're not part of core services. We are an independent charity, so every scrap of money we get in, we do either through earning it, writing funding bids. So that it's not like someone somewhere is giving out money for projects like this. You know, we have to fight for every pound that we get in. And yeah, people come here thinking that we're something slightly different, so it's quite interesting from that point of view. But no, there's massive value in what we do. I mean, for every single person who might get back into work after involvement in a project like this, there's evidence to show that it saves the local economy £7,500 a year each, you know. So you multiply that by all the people who are getting into work after having their confidence increased in a place like this. I mean, the cost savings are absolutely amazing, but at the moment, the way services are and the way funding is that they can only see the cost of something and not the value of it. There's no money for preventative health strategies or preventative community strategies. Now, we all know that if there was, we wouldn't get to this stage in a lot of places, but we're waiting till people reach crisis point, and we're having to deal with that rather than dealing with it early on when the outcomes could be much better.
I know from my own business that casting directors and theatre producers look at a CV, and if they see gaps, that kind of alerts them, you know, and they would rather see a non-funded, non-salaried position fill in that gap. And I guess it's the same with any CV, you know. Voluntary work during a period of unemployment does impress a future employer. It does impress that you've made the effort. You're going to use your time wisely. And voluntary work says so much about a person, and it's good for job prospects.
Yeah, I mean, it shows a willingness. You know, it shows a willingness to do something productive with your time. It shows engagement in learning all sorts of different skills, especially in a place like this. You could be wrestling a sheep one minute, you know, clipping its feet the next, injecting a pig, you know, whatever. You could be doing hundreds of different things in a day, so you're constantly learning new skills. So no, I think people do look upon volunteering as a really good thing for employability. But what we find is a lot of our volunteers come here at a point in their lives when they've almost given up.
Yeah.
And it's actually joining here, finding a family and a community that want, you know, put you on an equal basis with them, teach you new skills, but also value what you bring, and the time that you're giving just improves, especially for men, it just improves their health and well-being so much. You know, male mental health is a massive issue because men don't like to talk face to face. You're doing it now, but really, it'd be much better if we were putting up a fence together and we were talking that way. So for men, this is the perfect approach to improving mental health and creating a network of friends.
So if you want more information about the work of the community farm, if you'd like to get involved as a volunteer or just like come here on one of those 3 days, half term is coming up, so maybe you'd like to bring the children here. I'm sure there's lots going on here over the next few days. This young lady now is going to tell you how to do it, how they can get more information.
One of the best ways of staying in touch is actually just to add us on Facebook and to watch our pictures and announcements that way. We have a website which is www.swanseacommunityfarm.org.uk. We've got a phone number 578384. But really, you know, just follow us on social media, pop down when you can, and you know, donate if you want, become a member, or find out how getting involved in volunteering can improve your life if you're feeling like that would be a good idea. Either way, just it's your farm, pop down and use it.
Gordon, the plan was, in my head, to talk about the honey cake that you had made and had given me, but unfortunately it's all gone pear-shaped because I've eaten honey cake. It's gone, but it was delicious.
Well, thank you. We made that for the event that we had on Sunday, the farmers market. So I basically got honey from our own hives and eggs from next door, and it's just basically honey, eggs, sugar, self-raising flour, and a little bit of butter.
Fantastic. So you go out to farmers markets with products from the farm?
No, it's just that we had a products market.
You have one here?
We had one here.
Wow.
So we were selling our own honey, our own jams, meat from our own animals, and there was other people selling kimchi, jams. So there was an Indian lady selling her samosas and things.
And is that a regular event? Or?
It was our first one this year. It's the first one we've ever done. I believe it was because one of the ladies in charge here looked around and there wasn't a farmer's market on that specific Sunday, because there's always one in Mumbles, there's one in... So they just decided to try and give it a go. Just a shame that Storm Brian came through with the marquee and it was a bit windy and wet.
It's quiet today, so I guess you're cooking with the staff and the volunteers in mind, are you?
Well, we've got some people, some young children on the farm that are here on like a work experience. So I've got Sean in the kitchen helping me today. So we're just making some roast potatoes, Yorkshire puddings, sausages from the farm, onion gravy, and then for the vegetarians we've made a 5-bean chilli. So it's just giving the kids some experience. I mean, some of them have never worked in a proper kitchen before, so it's just showing them the knife skills and just basic skills and what they can take away.
And are you staff here?
Yes, I am staff and I'm a volunteer as well.
And I found that, you know, that people work here so many days a week, but when they're not staff here, they come in as volunteers.
Well, tomorrow I'm going to be coming in because the beehives need to be sorted out for winter, so I look after the bees on a volunteer basis because some of the bees are mine. And I've got to put mouse guards on the front, so basically the entrance has got quite a big hole, and in the winter time mice try and get into the hive to eat the honey and eat the bees, so I've got the special guard that goes on the front to stop the mice getting in.
Wow.
So that needs to be done tomorrow.
It's all very complicated, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it here?
Well, I've been here now for 7 years.
Yeah. You enjoy it, don't you?
Yeah, my name's up on the wall. I'm one of the volunteers that actually changed this. This was a barn, and we had money and we built this. So I came in, I did the plumbing work along there, never done any plumbing work before, so I was taught how to do that. I did some of the tiling, some of the plastering. Again, I make cakes, so plastering I thought was, instead of putting it on the cake this way, you put it on the ceiling this way, so it's a...
Fantastic. Well, listen, thanks for your time. Thanks for your cake.
That's all right.
And a cup of tea, which the boys got very excited about because they managed to capture the steam coming out, which is amazing. And say if people want more information, there's a website, there's a Facebook page, Twitter account. Just call in and pick up some leaflets here at the farm, and you'll put them to good use.
Well, we get people coming to buy the honey quite a lot because it's to have fresh local honey that's not been messed around with is really nice. And we get people coming that want to go to the bees, to see the bees, go on beekeeping courses, and so I just get people turning up and I take them on tours and tell them about bees, and if they want, they can keep them in the garden.
I feel a feature coming on in the not too distant future. Kev goes beekeeping. Gordon, many thanks for your time, and many thanks for your cake as well.
No problems, I'll better get back in there.
Oh yeah, something's burning, quick. Sean, thank you very much, son. No. All the best. Don't leave me hanging. Up the Swans. Swans fan, Sean, great volunteer here at the Swansea Community Farm. And he's just sold me some honey from the bees that are here at the farm. So I'm going to use that to make some banana cake when I get back home to Gysainen. It's a great place, you know, it says it all there. Helping to reconnect people of all ages, backgrounds and abilities with their food, their environment and each other at the only city farm in Wales. It's open a few days a week to the public, lots of volunteer opportunities here, lots of opportunities to bring your community group, your school group into the farm to see what farm life is all about. It's a remarkable place and we have to keep this the only city farm in Wales open for the good people of southwest Wales. Easy to find, it's just here next to Cadler School in the Forest Fach area of Swansea. There's the road there straight to the M4 just outside. So pop in, check them out on their website, pop in and give them a visit. I must go and make my cake.